This is a Sports Catastrophe production. Hey there, hello there, ho there. It's Jeff Cutter Diamond welcoming you to another Sports Catastrophe on this day. And on this day, 21 years ago, March 6, 2000, Ray Bourque is traded from Boston to Colorado. A lot of people would be shocked, especially if you're a Boston Bruins fan, because, the heart of the franchise left for Colorado. But people forgot that Bourque actually asked for a trade to a contending team. He figured that Boston was not the team that they used to be. So basically, he asked for the trade, and Harry Sinden reluctantly agreed. Ray Bourque's career started in 1979 when he was drafted in the first round by the Boston Bruins. In fact, that pick was actually a pick that Boston meandered from Los Angeles for somebody. I can't remember if it was Simmer or something, but anyway, Boston got LA's first round pick, and they took Ray Bourque 8th overall, or something like that. Ray Bourque was basically a decent defenseman and all that. And he showed his true calling in the 80s, basically being an offensive defenseman and a big defensive defenseman, too. He wore number 7 for the Bruins, which was shocking because Phil Esposito was known for wearing number 7 for the Bruins. So basically, when Esposito was to get his number 7 retired in 1987, there was an arrangement that once Bourque handed in his skates, well, Bourque can wear number 7 as long as he stays with the Bruins and all that. But Bourque decided not to do that. And in his sportsmanship, and a sporting gesture, if you will, he basically decides to give Phil Esposito his number 7 jersey. Like, he presented the 7 jersey with Esposito to Espo. But then once he wore his number 7, he took that jersey off and gave it to Esposito and sported double 7s and all that. Such a classy gesture. Ray Bourque was basically one of the best defensemen around. And unfortunately for Bourque, he had heartbreaking 88 and 90 in the Stanley Cup Finals. 88, they got swept by the Edmonton Oilers. No. It's Mr. Doubter. That's right, a Bourque. Well then, Cutter. The Boston Bruins didn't get swept. They lost in 5 games. You are right in a sense, but Game 4 was postponed due to that power failure. Basically put that everything from that game would be pushed forward to a Game 7. So basically it meant that Edmonton-Boston Game 4, quote unquote, would be actually in Edmonton. That 3-3 game would be only replayed if the Oilers and Bruins went to a Game 7. And the Bruins had to win 3 straight games, which is hard enough to do, being down 3 games tonight. So anyway, the Bruins got swept by Edmonton in Edmonton, despite the fact Game 4 was supposed to be in Boston. The power outage. And in 1990, they lost in 5 to the Oilers. Who can forget Peter Klima's triple overtime goal in Game 1 of the finals, which I believe was the record for longest Game 1 finals appearance by time, like in overtime. I think Chicago broke that in 2015, didn't they? Against Tampa? Or, no, Chicago with Boston. Didn't that go to triple overtime too? But anyway, yeah. So anyway, yeah, Bourque had trouble. Boston had a very good team. Boston picked up a few key pieces. They picked up Adam Oates and Joey Juneau. Well, Juneau from the draft and Oates from the St. Louis Blues. And basically Boston looked decent. 93 was supposed to be the year that they would be heavy favorites. Well, after losing back-to-back conference finals to Pittsburgh, they were hoping for the big time. They were the best team in their division. But unfortunately, Buffalo swept them in the first round, which is hard to believe that Buffalo took care of Boston in 4 straight games. Like, looking at Buffalo's roster and all that, I'm thinking Buffalo could have easily beaten Boston maybe in 6, but in 4? How the heck did Boston and Andy Moe screw up and all that? Anyway, Boston was not getting any younger. Even though Bourque was a hero for the 96 All-Star game, scoring the winning goal in the third period off Felix Pontin, basically Boston slipped. In 97, they for the first time in 29 years didn't make the playoffs. 29 years. Freak. I'm only 35. But anyway, that did come with a silver lining as Boston ended up getting the number 1 pick, which was Joe Thornton. But basically Boston was regressing at a state and all that. And basically, Bourque wanted to play for a Stanley Cup because everyone said he should get a Stanley Cup. So he got traded to Colorado for Dave Anderchuk and Brian Ralston. Now, people think that the Bourque trade was in 2001. No, it was in 2000. Colorado got to the Stanley Cup semifinals, but were taken out by Dallas. So basically, Bourque had to win one more year. But in his one full season in Avalanche colors, he was superb. He was good. He got to the All-Star game, which was held in Denver, by the way. So anyway, you slice it. He was doing good. And, they had a good defense crew and all that. Rob Blake came over from the Kings. So, hey, Rob Blake, great job for the Avalanche. The Avalanche went right through the Stanley Cup playoffs without too much of a whimper, although the Kings gave them a fright in the second round. Coming back from 3-1 down to force Game 7, but the Avalanche won. Avalanche would take on the New Jersey Devils, who were the defending champions. And the Devils were up 3-2 and needed to win Game 6 on home ice. But Patty Waugh, Ray Bourque, and company shut them down. In fact, Ray Bourque wanted to put the thing called Mission 16W on baseball caps. Basically, the Mission 16 wins to get the cup. And ironically, when they were headed to Continental Airlines Arena to do Game 6, one of the offers was 16W. Anyway, Game 7, Saturday night, June of 2001, Ray Bourque got his cup. He was on the ice when the final buzzer sounded, and thanks to 2 goals from, I believe it was Chris Drury, or was it Tanguay? No, it was Tanguay. Alex Tanguay, a very huge Game 7 hero, an unknown Game 7 hero. Kind of like Max Talbot in 2009. But anyway, the Avalanche won the Stanley Cup. Sakic got to hold the cup, but he didn't hold it aloft. He decided to give that honor to Ray Bourque. And basically, who can forget Gary Thorne's infamous call? After 22 years, Raymond Bourque. And he raised that cup, and everyone just went ballistic. Boston fans would actually also tear up seeing Ray Bourque win the Stanley Cup. It would take a decade before Boston got a cup themselves at the expense of Vancouver. But yeah, Ray Bourque was an icon. I mean, I'll be honest with you, maybe 77 shouldn't be retired by the Avalanche. I know he's retired by the Bruins, and that's worthy, but 77, he only played a year and a half with them. I mean, I'm a little picky, but, Ray Bourque still helped the Avalanche win the Stanley Cup. Obviously, I was a Patrick Roy fan, so I didn't want the Avalanche to lose the Stanley Cup. So anyway, good on him. And, Boston did okay. I mean, they weren't that bad, but, they did miss Ray Bourque a bit. Anyway, I'm Jeff Diamond. Adu.